Welcome to the Sterling Southgate Property Podcast with me, Jonathan Southgate. Today we have a wonderful guest with us, Helen, owner of Love Lifestyle, specialist in relocation, home staging and decluttering. I'm going to bring Helen into the room now and we'll start our chat. Hello, Helen.
Hello, Jonathan.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very well indeed. Thank you very much for asking. So just give us a bit of background then on how Love Lifestyle came to being.
So I've always wanted and I've always dreamed of running my own organising business. And I started with decluttering and staging. I am very organised. Everything's colour coded. I'm a minimalist, so I like to be really organised. So it was a dream to start. But then, of course, COVID hit. And as property is my passion, I decided to go into relocation. Now, I've actually relocated a number of times myself. I'm originally from Welwyn in Hertfordshire, and I moved to Somerset 22 years ago this year.
Okay.
Time flies. And so, and also I've moved over to Boston in the US.
Wow,
and so
that must have been a big move.
It was huge, and I do understand the challenges that people face when you're moving somewhere unfamiliar. Just somewhere you don't know. It's a big step.
Great. So let's kick off then. Let's run through why would somebody use your services with regards to relocation?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the last year has been an interesting one for us all. I think we have reassessed our lifestyles. We're looking for a different lifestyle now, and whether you're looking to, I don't know, run a B&B, move somewhere near the coast or the country. I don't know, you might want to even run a farm if you're in, want lots of animals around you. So people are really looking to do that now. And so I work with people who really are time poor. They want the convenience of someone to manage their move. There are a lot of tasks to do. And for people who are running businesses, who have families, busy lives, to manage their own to-do list is one thing, but to manage a home move to-do list is massive. So I'm working with them to really make the move happen for them and make it, more importantly, stress-free. But I also work with people who are bereaved, people who singles who don't want to do the move on their own. So it really does vary. And they would use me because I'm like a personal guidebook, I suppose. I know the area. The local expertise is key to a smooth move.
Yeah. So you're a walking guidebook. There we are. Excellent. Okay, so I mean, it's people moving from other areas around the UK. I mean, many may not have any expertise with relocation agents. How does it work? What's the sort of process involved?
Yeah, so usually I'm a property search consultant as part of the relocation. So I help my clients source property. I view the properties. And the great thing with technology these days is that they don't have to be there. The challenges really are the fact that the client can't be there. If they live in a different county, they can't get to the viewings. And so I will either do a live call for them and take them round live, or if they're busy, do a video call and send it to them.
Fantastic. That's great. Fantastic. It's 2021 technology. Good. Excellent.
So actually, a question for you. If people are relocating and they have a property already, I mean, at the moment, the property market is crazy and there are so many buyers and not enough sellers.
Yeah.
But if they wanted to maybe keep their house and purchase another one in the new area, is that possible? How do they do that?
Sure, that's a great question, and it's something that is actually coming to the market a bit more now. So we saw a lot of what they call let to buy, so people can retain their own home and let that one out, raise funds against that property, and then buy a second property, so a new main residence elsewhere. Okay, we saw a lot of that back in 2008, 2009 in the property crash, where people couldn't sell their properties. Now it's a case of how can we be on the front foot and able to purchase quickly, and that's where the likes of Let to Buy come into the scenario. So they can retain their property, either they're moving out of London or the southeast or the north, and they've got a more valuable asset. They're looking to buy in an area where, pound for pound, they'd get a great deal more for their money. Let to Buy can be a really, really great option. It allows them to retain that asset, see the appreciation in that one, and also move to that other area relatively quickly without having to worry about a chain behind them or other buyers and sellers potentially pulling out. So, yeah, great question. I hope that answers it.
Yeah, that's great, Jonathan. I'm certainly going to recommend that as a solution. I think it will help with a number of people I have spoken to. So that's great.
Amazing. So one thing that I've seen you do, and I've got to be honest, it's one of the things that really drew me towards your Instagram account was the home staging. It's something that I've seen agents and people not really clicking onto in the Southwest, but that's something that you do as a business. So do you mind just giving us a bit more information about what that is and how it works?
Yes, absolutely. I think it started in the US, and it is massive out there. And it has come over to the UK. London have adopted it. As you say, the Southwest, not so much at the moment. And I'm going to try and change that. But yes, to me, it's an essential part of selling your house. You want the potential buyers to visualize it as their own. And of course, there are a number of ways that we can set up and stage the property to ensure that happens. You kind of want to create a house that's homely, but then you don't want it too sterile and you don't want it full of the owner's possessions. It's really got a delicate balance, but it's all about getting the flow of the furniture, making sure the right amount of furniture is in the room, and also the right size of furniture. If the furniture's too big for a small room, it can make it look too small.
Yeah. So it's interesting that I think the big draw for me on that is that when people are selling their home, the buyer's not likely to be exactly into what they're into. So even down to sort of color schemes, dressing properties, you are that now, and it's evident in the name of your business, you are looking at the lifestyle element and how you can improve saleability and potentially price, I presume, as well, as a result of dressing it.
Yeah, that is exactly it. It's knowing who the potential buyers will be and matching it to the people. And that does include colours and my favourite topic. Yeah, and just making sure that you're getting the right amount of money for the house, because you will get a lot more money for the house if it's been staged. But also you sell quicker. Stage property is known to sell quicker. So
wow. I mean, that's great, isn't it? To have that at your fingertips and to have an expert like yourself on hand to come in, stage the property, get it looking just right for some nice professional photographs. You've got to give it the best shot, right? You want to get the best. You got one chance often at selling property at the best price. Exactly. So why wouldn't you give it a shot?
Exactly.
So if say Jonathan Southgate is employing you to come in and stage the property, do you mind me just walking through how that process would go, and what it would look like from your side?
Yeah, so I mean, I always offer a free consultation, and I think that's important to spend some time just to talk about the expectations and how things should be. And I mean, I have a number of questions that I ask to get the right information so that I can advise the best course of action. But then I'll work with my clients to create a lovely feeling home. Some need more work than others, but it's and we certainly do, and it depends on their budget as well. I can work to a number of budgets, but usually I would advise what sort of money is needed, and we would purchase items. For those time poor people, I tend to go and purchase them and create it myself.
Amazing.
I might be involved, so it's up to them.
That's grand. So you again, one-stop shop for that process. If depending on the client's budget and expectations, they can effectively say, look, Helen, we need to sell, we want to sell, we want to sell for the best price possible. make it happen for us, and you can work to their budget, go out and find the relevant items to stage the property ready for sale.
Exactly.
Brilliant. Sounds fantastic. Great. Excellent. So that leads me on to my next question quite nicely, actually. So what are your 3 top tips for presenting your property for sale?
Oh, gosh, I have a number of them. My 3 favourite ones. So definitely declutter and clean. I have to go with that one first. That's really important because it will allow you, firstly, a chance to pack a few non-essential items and get those out of the way. But also, people don't want to walk into a cluttered, untidy and unclean house. So that's definitely the first step. Depersonalize. So because you want the potential buyers to visualize the property as their own, I would just remove family photos so that people can walk through thinking of it as their own. And then what's another one? Okay, fix things. So DIY.
Yeah.
If there's anything that's broken, people will probably spot it. So just make sure everything's fixed. And just remember as well to do the inside and the outside, because the curb appeal is just as important.
Absolutely. And I think it's essential, isn't it? Those little items of maintenance you may be thinking about for a months and months prior, it's perhaps a good time just to say, okay, let's get it done. That way, when surveys happen or when the buyers come round, there's no sort of little points of thinking, okay, that's 500 quid off the price, that's £1,000 off the price. So yeah.
No, that's very true. And also the photographer will come in to take the photos of the house, and they are usually very good, but you want the property looking at its best. So before you appoint the estate agent, definitely get myself or someone in to declutter and stage with you.
So declutter and clean, depersonalize,
and DIY. 3 Gs.
Brilliant. Amazing. Perfect. It's almost like you thought of those before. Excellent. Okay, so let's just talk about the local market then. So looking at the areas you operate in, so people moving predominantly to the southwest. Yeah.
Yes. So my clients either are relocating to or within the southwest. And I have worked with people from moving from South Africa, moving from up north, from London, and they are literally everyone. It's young and old. So yeah, whether they're looking for somewhere near the sea, it's really quite varied.
So who's relocating to the area and why? If we were to put a pin in, and these are the type of people that are moving to this area.
Okay. So from my experience, retired couples, so maybe they want to be near a family as they're getting older. South African family just wanted a fresh new life, and I think also that the families that I'm working with, particularly around London area, one particularly in Kent, they just really want a more tranquil life. Families really want somewhere that they can bring up their children, low crime, low pollution level, just a more better quality of life with a good work-life balance. And of course, you're finding that now here in the southwest, because companies are allowing you to work from anywhere. And of course, we're more productive and happy when we can work from anywhere.
And it was the big fear, wasn't it? I think pre-COVID, like a lot of companies have kind of thought about, shall we let people work from home? And some had been like, well, for arm's length, can't really monitor them, and we'll keep an eye on how hard they're going to work. But it's proven, this last 12 months has proven that people, given their own devices, put in an area they're comfortable with, will work as hard, if not harder, than if they're driving to that 9 to 5 office space.
It's so true.
And space as well. Space is a premium, right? I think clients that I've seen moving out of the southeast, moving from 2-3 bedroom apartment, with a lovely sort of garden apartment, to a 4 or 5 bedroom detached house, those kind of clients, that's all they want. They know they can work remotely. They know they can pop into the office if they're on a fast train from Taunton up to Paddington in next to no time nowadays. I even had a client who flew from Exeter to London City Airport. It's like half an hour plane journey. Bit extravagant, but it happens.
If you can do
that desire for space, and that's something we've got in abundance in the southwest, isn't it? We've got great coastlines, we've got great space, and great properties as well, like new build to more traditional properties. So yeah, it's I know the benefits of living in the southwest, and you know, I live and work in the southwest, and have done, crikey, since we moved down here 30 odd years ago, and I think wouldn't want to be anywhere else. You know, it's got, you know, you're not far from a beach ever, which is great, but equally you can go for a countryside walk. It's lovely.
It is the best of both worlds, isn't it? Yes,
it really is. It really
if
is.
you want a bit of city life, you've got Exeter and Bristol, and they're great cities. So it's good.
So, what are the challenges people finding when they're looking to relocate? What challenges do you come across for your clients?
Yeah, so I think I've kind of touched on one, that they can't view properties. So yeah, but that's what I'm there for. So I can be their eyes and ears. But also, I think the fact that there aren't many houses on the market at the moment, that's probably the biggest challenge of right now. It's temporary. We just don't know when it's going to change. So if you are considering selling your house, please see your local agents on behalf of all the estate agents in the southwest. But also during the lockdowns, and it's kind of changing now, but the removals companies wouldn't go into your house. So I've been working with clients to make provisions to get furniture in and out. So that was quite a challenge.
Wow. Okay. It's again something you don't think of, isn't it? You know, pre-pandemic, it would never have been that kind of conversation of how do we make our property COVID safe for someone coming in and moving house. Yeah, great. So I mean, you've touched on some great challenges there, and I think, you know, certainly viewing properties is so important. And if you've got the eyes and ears of a professional at distance, looking at it, following your criteria after that really important first consultation to get under the skin of exactly what the client wants and why they want it, then that's to me, if I'm looking to move, to have that and have time back so I can spend it on my business without the distraction of thinking, okay, I've now got to go and spend Friday afternoon, take Friday afternoon off and go down to the southwest until Monday morning. There's a crucial time still to be able to do work, and you don't want to be drawn away from your business. You really don't.
And it is the biggest thing you could do in your life, to relocate to a different county. You know, it's people's dreams. You know, they want their dreams to happen. After the last year, it's so important to them. So
I agree.
You know, it's so important that I'm there to help them and support them and make it happen. I'm very organised, so yeah, it's a military operation.
Fantastic. I mean, that level of organisation would not go amiss in this house. I mean, if ever we came to miss, Mrs. Southgate is so organised. There's boxes boxed up for weeks and sometimes months before, you know, things up in the loft that we've got to move to and keep the house clear as well. So yeah, that's super important. Somebody that organised in your life is an absolute godsend. So, yeah.
I do tell my other half how lucky he is. I do. Joy. So what is the mortgage market like at the moment then?
So interestingly, similar sort of challenges to the housing market. I mean, there are lots of clients out there that have got the ability to purchase, and you know, there's lower loan to values. There's some really good rates. So 75%, 80% loan to value. Below there's some really good rates. Above that, it's price dependent. You know, it depends on what the client's buying and how much they want to put into it. So if we look at our spread of customers, so we deal with people who are remortgaging, moving home, some debt consolidation as well. So there's quite a broad spectrum of buyers we're looking at, first-time buyers as well. So there's different products for each individual category. But the market as a whole is busy. It's just a case of the clients being able to find the right properties in the right areas, because they are getting outbid. And I've dealt with 2 first-time buyers recently who have been in that same position. They were ready to go, found the property, right, we're going to view it on Saturday. It's Wednesday. Okay, come Saturday, sorry, it's sold. Okay, right. Yeah. Let's go to the next one. And that's across the spectrum of the market. We've got some people moving home down towards Exeter at the moment, and they're looking sort of new build type property, and they're having to pay quite considerably more than perhaps they would have paid 24 months ago to secure the property and get the right house in the right location for them. So I suppose the only challenge from our side is valuation. It's just when it comes to that client getting a valuation for their mortgage company, some valuers perhaps haven't quite caught up with how busy the market is yet. So that'll take some time to feed through. I'm sure it will be absolutely fine in the coming weeks and months, but yeah, it's a supply issue. I think that's the thing. There's lots of demand from banks to lend, because for vast swathes of last year, they weren't lending, or they were lending only to those prime candidates with very low loan to values. So yeah, if the clients can find the properties, typically we've coached them into a position whereby they can go out and buy that house without any issue. But yeah, always
we've got the stamp duty holiday that will be running up until the end of September. But I do often wonder just how much the fact that people are renovating their homes there, and I think they're not selling. Some people have just decided to stay put, and so it's possible the housing market is a little lacking of homes for that reason.
But if they're staying and renovating 18 months, 2 years down the line, hopefully there'll be a better quality of stock available in the market. There'll be some good quality homes with recent renovations. I mean, might hold their prices as well. You never know. So yeah, that's great. Look, that's been really, really, really insightful. So thank you so much for your time today. If people want to get in touch with you, how do they go about doing that?
So I have a website at lovelifestyle.org, but I'm also on social media on Facebook at lovelifestyle.org, and on Instagram, helen.lovelifestyle. But yeah, email as well, helen@lovelifestyle.org. So either of those.
Amazing. Thank you so much. But Helen, well, that's all we've got time for today. It's been really, really insightful, as I say. So a big thank you to you for giving up your time. And if anyone watching on Watchback or listening on the podcast would like further information, anything we've covered today, please do get in touch with Helen for her side. Or for mortgage advice, you can follow at Sterling Southgate on Instagram, facebook.com/Sterling Southgate. So thank you very much, Helen. And look, it's been lovely talking to you.
And you.
Look forward to catching up again soon.
Absolutely.